All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to a very special tribute episode of Scoot's podcast. I'm here with uh, my brother-in-law and longtime friend Kevin. Kevin, say what's up.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Kevin.
So, so yeah, we're we're here. It's been a year since Kobe's passing. You were the person that I actually spent the majority of that day with when Kobe passed. And I remember both of us just having this overall, just this overwhelming feeling of just shock, and just we were just, both of us collectively were out of it. Like, when we're together, we're usually always talking, joking, laughing, and that day we just, it was like, it was a day unlike any other day that I've experienced in my life or with you in general.
Yeah, it was for sure a very difficult day to process everything that day. It was
Yeah.
yeah,
So my first question is, what did Kobe Bryant mean to you? And I know that's a question that has a little different meaning now that he's passed, but yeah, what does Kobe Bryant, who he was and everything he did, what does he mean to you personally?
man, he I feel like the reason why in a way I'm so competitive now and the way I tend to attack any project or anything I have to do in life that I want to get done is, that whole Mamba mentality he had. I feel like he was just a big role model as far as like work ethic. I mean, no one I haven't really seen anyone work as hard as he did. I mean, I think at the end, everyone just always wanted that little bit of Kobe, anything he had to offer. I mean, it didn't even have to be basketball. I mean, it, just with him working harder or him just, making movies, it shows that it was a beyond basketball, and he played a big part in my life as far as just always pushing forward and always just giving it 100%. That mentality of not giving up, you know.
Yep. Um, what do you remember specifically about the day that he died?
Man, that day was, I, I mean, it's weird because I get goosebumps to this day just thinking about it. But I remember um, being at I play soccer too, so I was at I was actually in the championship game. I was gearing up, putting my cleats on, and I get my sister came down to watch me play, and she says, she's like, Kobe just died, and I was like, there's no way, like, stop playing with me, I thought it was a joke, um, and especially to kind of like find doubt then and there, I think growing up, I mean, Kobe, you think of Kobe the fourth quarter, like that shot, like he's got it, he's gonna make it, and it's like it's Kobe, he's like a superhero, like there's no way, like he can't die. And when she told me that, I immediately went on like Twitter, TMZ, started looking at all these, places, and yeah, like I started just seeing, the tragedy that had just happened, and at the time they couldn't really confirm everyone that was on board, but like, I mean, just knowing him and other people, and then I started thinking about obviously his daughter and how she was always with him. Man, it was so hard for me to play that game that day. I didn't even feel like doing anything. I mean, it was bad. Like, this is someone that, I mean, it's crazy because I had never really met the guy, had a conversation with him, things like that. But the impact, obviously, he left in everyone's life. It clearly shows for me to be affected in that way. Um, for me to have never met this person, and for me to really feel like, damn, like I really lost someone like close to me, and it was tough. It was so tough, and I feel like that. I mean, what helped me get through that game was that like Mamba mentality, that like what, like he would play. I mean, this is a guy that dislocated his finger, someone popped it back in for him, and just came back into a game. Like he would play through anything, and it's like that's what I would try to do. Shot two free throws, torn Achilles. Like this guy was like the definition of like, dude, like a superhero. Like you see him do these things, and it's like no other human can do that, And it's yeah, I mean that's honestly what sticks out the most to me. It was
Yeah.
a really tough day.
Speaking of the torn Achilles, there's so many moments in Kobe's career, from those free throws to his final game, his 81-point game, all the championships. What is your favorite Kobe Bryant moment?
I'd honestly have to say my favorite was um, his last game, dude. I know we were together on his last game,
Yeah,
and that will forever like be with me, man. That was a special day because I feel like it was already we were saying bye to a legend, but for him to go out that way um, was very like it was special, man. It was special to you didn't even really have to be inside Staples. I can't imagine what that must have felt like, but us just watching it on TV and experiencing that was man amazing.
it was like the night kind of started out like a little sad because it was Kobe's last game, and then it just ended on such a high note with how good of like how 60 points, how good of a game he
Oh
had, how
my
crazy it was.
god, yeah, completely killed it,
Yeah,
completely.
that's my favorite moment too. Um, if you had to describe Kobe to a non-basketball fan, maybe like a kid or someone who's just starting to get into basketball or someone who wants to understand Kobe better, how would you describe him to them?
Um, I would say this is uh, he was very hardworking individual, very motivated, self motivated. Um, you know, like I said, it was beyond basketball. This person, you know, everyone was, besides Michael Jordan, was like, it's Kobe, it's Kobe, it's Kobe, and he never really like acted like off the court. He never acted like he was some huge like big time star. He was always doing things, always trying to like better the community, always just doing things that are bigger than basketball. Ways to like spread um, that knowledge that he had. Of him working hard, his like him just showing that it can be done in other ways. If you put your focus and mind into it, you can do this too. You can be a writer. You can, he won a Grammy, right? If I'm correct. Yeah,
Oscar. He won an Oscar.
Oscar. Sorry, not an. Yeah, he won an Oscar. So I don't know where I got Grammy from, but it's it's just crazy, dude. Like you can the guy I saw him kick a soccer ball a couple of times, and he can do it. Like this was a guy that can do it all. It really like looked like that, and but that's the biggest thing, man. It's just the hard work he would put into whatever he wanted to do. I mean, I was reading something like an article where I don't I heard he like I was reading he learned how to play something on the piano for Vanessa, and he kept telling like Rob that like, oh, I want to learn how to play this song for her, and he would stay up till like a late, like he would stay up super late just to learn how to play the piano and like a specific song for her, and he did it and he played it, and apparently like he did it in like a couple weeks, and it's like it just shows what this guy had, man. It's like is not human, bro.
Yeah.
And it's
He talked all the time about how when he was growing up in Europe, he felt like that was his way to be able to, you know, play with the kids that were playing basketball. He felt like he was kind of the outcast, but just by practicing and by being one of the best kids that was playing, like he was always kind of allowed to play with the kids that were his age just because of how good he was.
yeah, yeah, and that's the crazy thing is like he never backed down from anything, you know,
Yep.
never did, and that's one of the things that also like sticks with me to this day is like not to be afraid. You got to face it.
Yep.
You know,
Um, Now I have two kind of scenario questions, like what would your preference be? The first question being, and it's a really hard question to answer. Which Kobe Bryant do you think was better, number 8 or number 24? Now, this could be preference. This could be who you think is factually better. This could be who you would want on your team? I mean, whichever, however you want to tackle the question, it's yours to tackle. Number 8 or number 24?
Honestly, I feel like I liked 24 a lot better. And I think 24 was in a way a lot more mature, but also he knew the game a lot more. So he knew how to attack your weaknesses on the court. He knew how to really go at it. I feel like when he was younger, he was, obviously a lot like, more athletic but I felt like as he got older, he was just smarter. He played a lot smarter. He really like attacked and attacked and attacked and kept attacking.
Yeah.
And I think that's what separates them for me, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone over this with plenty of people. There's pros and cons for both. 8 has more rings. 8 was the 81-point game when he was really started to
Mm-hmm.
come into his own, but 24 was, just really adapting, making himself into this new basketball player, and just, 24 was really his peak. And then, there's cons, like 8 was like his rookie years and him like his growing pains, and 24 was, the later years where they weren't really winning a lot of games. So there's
Mm-hmm.
pros and cons, but just about everyone is choosing 24, and I do the same thing. I think I would choose 24 between them also.
Yeah, yeah, same here. It is a difficult question. Yeah.
um and the last question being, what would you rather have seen more? Kobe play against LeBron in an NBA final series, or to see the Chris Paul trade go through and see Chris Paul and the Lakers with Kobe?
Oh man, that's hard. Um, Honestly, yeah, maybe just him play LeBron more. I feel like the Chris Paul trade, yeah, it would have been cool, but I don't think we would have never really met this side of Kobe. Everything we saw, everything we witnessed him do. Um, I think it was a lot more special um, to me. I feel like personally, but I mean, I would have loved that Chris Paul trade too, though. I mean, I was so mad when it didn't go through.
Yeah, a
Um,
lot of people were.
Especially seeing how a lot of the teams are now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Uh,
crazy.
so you choose LeBron against Kobe?
Yeah, I'd say that probably.
I feel like, I don't know why, I feel like, especially after his passing, but between those two scenarios, the Kobe LeBron final series, it would have been great to watch, and it would be something that people would be, watching on replay constantly till the end of time. It'd be
Yeah,
on TV, it'd be wherever, but it would have been a sight to see. There's two very competitive people, and at the same time two friends. So it would have been a cool dynamic to watch them play against each other at the highest stage of their sport and their profession.
yeah, definitely, dude. Now, if that would happen, would we have LeBron on the Lakers?
If they played against each other,
Yeah, like that much, like head to head.
you think that would lead to possibly LeBron wanting to play with Kobe?
Maybe. Never know.
I mean, if the money was there and it was something they wanted to do, that would be, man, that'd be one of the best duos of all time, maybe the best duo of all time.
For real. That'd be super crazy.
So do you have any final thoughts that you want to share about Kobe, and about, we're coming up on the year of his passing, any sort of reflection that you have about him?
Um, I mean, just honestly, not too many thoughts. I mean, honestly, all I'm just been really thinking about is, just I try to really think about all the, good memories, we were able to witness, and all the great games he gave us, and all the things he did off the court as well. I mean, just kind of try to, in a way, be like him, and attack my life that way. Not to give up and to keep pushing, because if he were to be alive today, it's something that he would probably want all of us to do. Is just continue to attack what we want, continue to practice it, at something, something that we want to be really, great at, just continue to attack and practice, and that's one thing that I try to do every day.
Yep, that is what he wanted when he taught about the Mamba mentality. So yeah,
Hmm.
I agree, and that is just it's still just as strange today as it was on day one. Nothing's really changed in that
Yeah.
regard.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, man, we're coming up on a year, and it's crazy because, I just think about like, I catch myself grabbing a little, I have trash, I'm throwing in the trash, and I'm yelling out Kobe, and it's like, wait, oh no, and you
Every
start
little
thinking about
thing.
it, and
Yep,
you're like,
every little
oh,
thing.
yeah. So
Yeah, same way. Just the smallest thing will remind me about Kobe, and then it'll remind me that he's not here.
yeah, it
Yeah,
still feels like I'm dreaming, like I'm gonna wake up, you know.
yeah, same way. Well, thank you for joining me and talking to me a little bit about Kobe. I definitely want to talk to you because we were together when everything happened, and we've shared a lot of Kobe memories with each other. So thank
Yeah,
you for
well, thanks
joining me.
for having me. I
Of
appreciate
course.
it. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
All right. Cool. Thanks, man.